Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about working on ourselves, the most important question we can ask is, why am I doing this? This isn't a question about what you want to achieve or how you plan to do it. It's about the deeper purpose behind your actions. Your why is what drives you forward when things get tough, when the path isn't clear, and when the results aren't immediate. Without it, effort becomes hollow and progress feels meaningless. To truly commit to self-improvement, you need to dig beneath the surface. Why does it matter to you? Is it because you want to set an example for your family, make a difference in your community, or simply feel more fulfilled in your life? Your why is deeply personal, and it doesn't need to make sense to anyone but you. It's the spark that lights your inner fire, the reason you wake up determined to be just a little bit better than you were yesterday. When you define your why, it's not about external validation or fleeting rewards. It's about connection to yourself, your values, and the impact you want to make. And when your actions stem from that connection, they carry a power that is hard to shake, even in the face of obstacles. Your why becomes a compass, guiding you when everything else feels uncertain. It's not just a reason, it's a foundation. A growth mindset is the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, learning, and perseverance. It's the opposite of a fixed mindset where people believe their talents are set in stone. When you approach life with a growth mindset, you see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. Instead of fearing failure, you start to understand that failure is simply feedback, a signal pointing you toward areas where you can improve. The key to cultivating a growth mindset lies in how you perceive effort and struggle. Many people shy away from hard work because they think it means they're not good enough. But in reality, effort is the vehicle that drives progress. Struggle is not a sign of inadequacy. It's proof that you're stretching beyond your comfort zone, which is exactly where growth happens. A growth mindset encourages curiosity, resilience, and the courage to try, even when success isn't guaranteed. It's about being open to learning from everyone and everything around you. Whether you're learning a new skill, tackling a personal weakness, or facing unexpected challenges, a growth mindset helps you see the process as just as valuable, if not more so, than the outcome. Clear goals provide direction and purpose to your efforts. Without them, it's easy to feel like you're wandering aimlessly, unsure of whether you're making progress or even moving in the right direction. Goals act as a roadmap, breaking down the overwhelming idea of self-improvement into actionable steps. They give you something concrete to focus on, something measurable to work toward. The power of a clear goal lies in its specificity. Instead of saying, "I want to be better," you say, "I want to read one book a month to expand my knowledge," or "I want to dedicate 30 minutes each day to physical exercise." When your goals are specific, they're easier to track, and that clarity allows you to measure your progress in a way that motivates you to keep going. But it's not just about setting goals. It's about setting the right goals. They should align with your values and your vision for yourself. A goal that doesn't resonate with who you are or what you truly want will feel like a chore rather than a pursuit. And as you work toward these objectives, remember to stay flexible. Life doesn't always follow a straight path, and sometimes you'll need to adapt. Clear goals are not rigid rules. They're guiding principles that help you focus your energy where it matters most. Self-awareness is the foundation of personal growth. It's the ability to look inward and understand who you truly are, your strengths, your weaknesses, your habits, and even the patterns of your thoughts. Many people rush to improve themselves without first taking the time to reflect. But without self-awareness, it's like trying to navigate a map without knowing your starting point. Being honest with yourself is not always easy. It requires you to confront uncomfortable truths, acknowledge areas where you fall short, and let go of the need to be perfect. But this honesty is where growth begins. When you can look at yourself without judgment, you create space for change. You start to recognize what's holding you back and what you need to work on to move forward. Self-awareness also helps you identify your unique strengths, those qualities that set you apart and allow you to thrive. It's not just about focusing on what needs improvement, it's also about celebrating what you already do well and finding ways to build on those abilities. The more you understand yourself, the more intentional you can be about the choices you make and the direction you take. Self-awareness isn't about self-criticism, it's about self-discovery, and through that discovery, you find the clarity to grow into the best version of yourself. Consistency is the quiet engine behind meaningful growth. It's not about making giant leaps in a single day, but about showing up every day, no matter how small the effort may seem. Change doesn't happen overnight, and progress is rarely instant. But when you commit to consistent action, those small efforts begin to compound over time, creating results that might feel impossible at first. The key to consistency is starting with something manageable. It's better to take one small, intentional step every day than to overwhelm yourself with massive goals that leave you burnt out. Whether it's spending 5 minutes journaling, taking a short walk, or dedicating a few moments to reflection, the habit of consistency builds momentum. And as that momentum grows, so does your confidence in your ability to stay committed. Consistency also teaches discipline and resilience. There will be days when motivation fades, when distractions creep in, or when progress feels invisible. But by staying consistent, you train yourself to keep going even when the excitement isn't there. You begin to realize that it's not about perfection or intensity. It's about persistence. Your persistence is its boundary. For example, you might be inducted or in championship, and there might be 100 microns. And when you look back, you'll see that the small, steady steps you took each day are what carried you the farthest. Discipline is the anchor that keeps you steady when motivation inevitably fluctuates. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes, often influenced by mood, energy levels, or external circumstances. Discipline, on the other hand, is a choice you make every single day, regardless of how you feel. It's the commitment to show up even when it's inconvenient or uncomfortable. Building discipline starts with understanding that it's not about grand gestures or overwhelming commitments. It's about the small, intentional actions you take consistently. It's setting an alarm to wake up early, even when you'd rather stay in bed. It's choosing to stick to your plan even when distractions are pulling you in every direction. Discipline is what transforms your goals from ideas into realities. Discipline also requires patience and trust in the process. The results won't always be immediate, and the effort might not always feel rewarding in the moment. But over time, the habits you build through discipline shape who you become. And the more you practice it, the stronger it grows. Discipline is not about being harsh on yourself. It's about staying true to what you've committed to, even when the initial excitement has worn off. It's the quiet strength that keeps you moving forward, one deliberate step at a time. Accountability is one of the most powerful tools for personal growth. It's easy to make promises to yourself, but it's much harder to follow through when no one else knows about those commitments. That's where accountability comes in. It provides an external layer of support and responsibility that pushes you to stay consistent and honest about your progress. Surrounding yourself with people who challenge and support you is essential. These could be mentors, friends, family members, or even a community of like-minded individuals. When you share your goals with others, you create a sense of commitment, not just to yourself, but to the people who believe in your potential. Knowing that someone else is rooting for you or checking in can make a world of difference, especially on days when your motivation wanes. Accountability isn't about pressure or judgment, it's about encouragement and growth. The right people won't just celebrate your successes, they'll also call you out when you're slipping, not to criticize, but to remind you of the standard you've set for yourself. And sometimes just knowing that someone else is paying attention can be enough to keep you on track. In the end, accountability isn't about relying on others. It's about using their support to strengthen your own commitment to your journey. Focusing on the process rather than the result is a mindset shift that transforms how you approach growth. It's natural to want to see immediate outcomes, a better job, a healthier body, or a new skill mastered. But when you fixate solely on the end result, you risk losing sight of the journey itself. And the truth is, it's in the day-to-day actions and efforts that real transformation takes place. When you embrace the process, you start to value the small wins and the incremental progress. Every step forward, no matter how minor, becomes a reason to celebrate. You begin to appreciate the effort you put in, rather than judging yourself based on whether you've achieved the final goal. This shift not only reduces frustration, but also keeps you motivated for the long haul. The process also teaches you resilience. Progress is rarely linear. There will be setbacks, plateaus, and moments when things don't go as planned. By focusing on the process, you learn to adapt and keep moving forward, even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. It's not about perfection or speed. It's about persistence and growth. Over time, you'll find that the habits and discipline you build during the process are what create the lasting changes you're striving for. The journey, in many ways, becomes more valuable than the destination. Staying aligned with your values is the compass that ensures you're heading in the right direction, even when the path gets challenging. Your values are the core principles that define who you are, what you stand for, and what truly matters to you. When your actions are in harmony with your values, you feel a deeper sense of fulfillment, purpose, and integrity. It's easy to get distracted by external expectations or societal pressures, but when you lose sight of your values, the pursuit of success can feel hollow. For instance, you may achieve a goal, but if the process conflicts with your values, the success won't feel as satisfying. On the other hand, when you make choices that reflect your true self, every step you take feels meaningful. Now remember that at the heart of expectations are all sorts of struggles for most people, and the choices we make feels meaningful. Aligning with your values also helps you navigate challenges with clarity and confidence. When faced with difficult decisions or temptations, you can refer back to your core beliefs as a guide. It helps you stay grounded, even when the world around you is pushing you to compromise. Ultimately, staying aligned with your values means living authentically, making choices that are true to who you are, not who others expect you to be. When you act in accordance with your values, the journey itself becomes as rewarding as the destination. As you work on yourself, remember that the journey of personal growth is not about perfection, it's about progress. It's about showing up every day with the commitment to become better than you were yesterday. Along the way, you'll face challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt, but if you keep your focus on the process, stay disciplined, and align your actions with your values, the results will follow. The path to growth is unique for each of us, but the one thing we all have in common is the power to shape our own future. Keep moving forward and know that the person you are becoming is worth every effort you put in today.